Hey everyone, it's Abby. So for this week's topic, I wanted to focus on modern farming practices and how it's affecting the health of our soil, as well as what we could do to fix it. So I found an article from ENVS31 magazine published on October 9th, 2025, and it's called Systems Study Identifies Agricultural Practices that threaten soil health and global food supply. So essentially, with this article, scientists are discovering what is affecting our soil, and current farming methods like overtilling and excessive fertilizer usage are a couple of the things that are slowly draining the life out of our soils. And the researchers study used a systems thinking approach, which essentially means that they looked at soil, water, and crops and the way they interact from different parts of the world to kind of gather their data and find patterns and things like that. So they found that when soil becomes degraded, it loses nutrients and structure. So losing nutrients and structure makes crops weaker, and that was like the one big overarching thing that they found that needed to be addressed. So when this happens, it leads to farmers using even more fertilizer to make up for the lack of structure and nutrients, and this, in unfortunate return, makes the soil more damaged, and it's just a negative feedback loop over and over and over again. The crops aren't happy, the farmers aren't happy, the soil definitely isn't happy, and it's just affecting our food supply and everything just all around. And it also puts our food supply at risk. So there's a desire to, reverse this and shift to more sustainable soil and farming practices, such as reducing tillage and keeping organic matter in the ground, and balancing our use of fertilizer. Essentially, we want to treat soil like it's a living system or a living thing that needs to be protected, and it's not just a surface for growing plants on. We got to treat it with respect. And this leads me to my secondary source that offers a potential solution, which I think is pretty cool. So from Science News, I found an article called Exploiting a Genetic Quirk in Potatoes May Cut Fertilizer Needs. And that's the end of the title. So scientists essentially started doing some research with potatoes, and they recently discovered a trait in them that helps them to use nitrogen more efficiently. So potatoes are one of the most fertilizer hungry crops, and I think it's like the number 3 food most commonly eaten around the world. So potatoes are constantly in high demand. And much of the fertilizer that is used on potato crops runs off into waterways, and this causes pollution. And if this trait in potatoes could be bred or engineered into more potato varieties, because I think right now it's only commonly found in a few, farmers could instantly or almost instantly lessen their usage of fertilizer. And this would, mean less runoff and healthier soils and cleaner water as well. And it would just protect the environment overall and make everyone much, much happier. It's also a good example of how innovation and sustainability can work together to lead us towards a more productive and healthier world. Um, and protecting our food supply, it starts with caring for our soils. Our soils are what do all of the work once we plant our crops and water them and take care of them, but the soil is constantly nurturing and taking care of our food through every phase of growth and all the way up to harvest. So we need to make sure that our soil can keep producing healthy and nutrient rich foods for generations to come. That's super, super important. So I will post the links to the articles below for you guys to check out. But my question for you all this week is do you think the best way to protect our soil is by changing our farming practices, or by developing new and more efficient crops? Or do you think it's a combination of the two? Tell me why down below. And I will see you guys in another discussion video. Have a great weekend, everyone.